Hey everybody, this is Denny.
And this is James from TDB, bringing you episode number 128. So today we are reviewing a tea from the Ansons of tea, based over there in Malaysia. So this is a 2014 production, the Yuanwei, which is located in Mungsong, a region in Yunnan. I've been drinking through this. I've been enjoying the sample, and I'm curious what Denny has to say about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Looks great. Looks like a nice tight compression. Has a really powerful nose. Like grape tomato-y kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how sour this will be.
And you've been drinking a lot of the pound cake, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how this sort of compares to that tea.
Yeah, and I try to mix stuff up a little bit too, and make sure that I'm getting other raws in the menu. As a comparison, it's really helpful. And I love my daily drinkers, but I find that I do need some contrast to be able to really taste them. You know what I mean? Like, you get used to it. You really do. Mm-hmm. And
it's also a good reference point, because then you can be like,
Absolutely.
oh, compared to the pound cake, this is blah.
It's a really good point, actually.
Because the differences of the teas will just be really emphasized.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, it's looking like a really nice yellow. Looks like it'll be light. It's probably going to end up getting a little bit oranger.
So I find that this tea definitely thickens up a bit as it steeps out. Cheers.
Cheers.
So it's still pretty light for me. Light bitterness, maybe like a touch citric.
I'm actually getting a fair amount of sweetness off of this, interestingly enough. I think it's light, too. This is pretty young. Yeah. Huh.
You can see that the color is just deepening, getting a lot darker.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And the leaves are just expanding like crazy. These steepings are going to get so much more intense, so much more quickly. Wow, it has a very pungent cherry tomato sweet smell. I'm finding this to be sweet tasting.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's warming, calming a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tea that actually grabs my attention a lot, which is nice. I like that too. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Really boldening up. Boldening up? It's not the right use of that word. Just getting a lot more thick, a lot more flavor. A nice return to the mouth sweetness. And a little more of those kind of peaty, smoky, raw, Pu'erh flavors.
There's definitely some bitterness in this tea.
Mm-hmm.
It's still pretty light, I would say, the bitterness at least. Kind of that familiar base, I think, of, I guess you would describe it as peaty or hay, maybe could be another way to describe it.
Yep.
And
no mushroom, fish sour grossness, really, at all, which is great.
And I find that right around these steeps is where you can kind of like, you're at a crossroads of like whether you want to start to push the tea a little bit or not. And so I find that when I push this tea, I do tend to get some of those like tangy sourness out.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing in the tea at all. In fact, I would suspect that would be something a reason why you would age the tea, so those would go away and evolve into something a little bit more interesting, pleasurable.
Yeah.
But I kept the steep time for the third one still pretty low, so we'll see how this goes.
I'm finding this to be really nice and light. I mean, a lot of young raw can be really abrasive and just hard to drink, and this is really pleasant. So, and I mean, it's a lot of tea in there.
Yeah, it's coming apart. It's gonna definitely fill up the Gaiwan in a steep or two.
Most definitely. This is great. This is interestingly enough, but for me, this tastes a lot like the pound cake, just a little bit more like oomph in it.
Yeah. Would you say that this has more bitterness than, or more oomph? What does that mean?
Yeah,
exactly?
I guess just a little bit of bolder flavors, and I think it has a little bit more of the peatiness. It tastes a little bit like it's been harder compressed. So.
And I think that was the case. It looked like I had to get in there to break it up, whereas the pound cake kind of comes apart real easily.
I'm really enjoying this. I really like the sweetness on this, actually.
And I feel that the tea really does sit in your mouth, like especially at the front of the mouth.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't get like the pound cake in comparison, from my memory at least. I don't have it as much as you. I think it has a bigger throatiness to it, but this tea does more in the mouth.
Getting just those little hints of the tannin, as you can see at the very end, and kind of the tip of my tongue. Totally fine. Yeah, really tasty. Oof, I am.
And I'm gonna push this
warming up
to 5 steeps, just because I think it gets consistently more interesting.
Awesome.
And then we'll probably call it there.
Cool. Cheers, y'all. Oh, man. This is really good to me. I love the sweetness on this, I have to say. It's not...
the aroma's really good, too.
Yeah. It kind of has a little bit of a grainy, like a grain aroma, a little bit. Not kind of corn-ish, but...
Yeah. Would you call it malty, or...?
Yeah. Good description, James. Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my job.
That's what I do in my spare time. I just look up the adjectives that Denny does. It's a good way to learn for the SATs, actually.
Ooh.
So, you know, just studying SATs, GREs, look up the...
GED.
Yeah,
hey,
I mean, TDB is a good way to learn.
These are tasty. I'm enjoying this a lot. It is a warming tea. I am getting highly energized, far more alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, really tasty.
And looking at the wet leaf, now at this point, the leaves in comparison to something like the pound cake are smaller, a good deal smaller.
It's true.
And that's a characteristic of the region, I believe. So.
Okay, interesting. This tea for me felt like it brewed out to a more intense brew a little bit more quickly.
I think so too. Yeah. The bitterness is not overwhelming, but it's definitely more there than some like Iwu teas or pound cake.
A little bit more than the pound cake. But you're right; it's not overwhelming at all. It has its own taste characteristic that I think couples well with the tea. So, if anything, it's providing a kind of foil, you could say, to the sweetness, or a contrast. But it's not so it's not so intense that you can't recognize the sweetness and so forth. So, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm finding that this is getting a little bit creamier as we are steeping it out. And that, there's part of that is a flavor thing, part of that is a texture thing. Maybe it's a little bit more texturally creamier. It's getting that just like this nice light but syrupiness. It's really great. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
2014?
Yeah, 2014. I think it's a very decent tea, too. And the thing that I like about this tea is just kind of like in the middle of a lot of ways. It's like a very midliner. It's like it's got a light bitterness that's not heavy. It's not super heavy, but it's also not super light.
Yeah.
It's got a good aroma. So I guess, talking about it in that way, I think it's a very balanced tea that offers a lot to the drinker.
But still, exactly, still bold, still has a lot of flavor, a lot to appreciate, a lot of complexity. So.
And I also like the energy that comes off of this,
Yeah.
like you were mentioning earlier. So
great.
yeah, yeah.
So James, if folks want to learn a little bit more about young raw pu'erh or old raw pu'erh or ripe pu'erh,
Yeah, come check us out at tdb.org. Hit that subscribe button below. Do the mail list. Do the Twitter. Do the Periscope. And go check out Essence of Tea as well. I think we both enjoy this tea a good deal. And they sell by the gram, so you can easily pick up a 5 or 10 gram sample for yourself
Try it out.
without breaking the bank. And thank you guys for watching.
See you guys next time. Cheers.
Cheers.